Adidas Pro Model history goes far back to the 1950s when it debuted as the first ever basketball shoe from Adidas. In the 2000s, it came back with a new look and was seen on feet of many of the NBA's up-and-coming stars. A few years later, we are getting the same classic killer silhouette but with added comfort and modern technology. Let's see if that's true or not. Let's go! When I first put the Pro Model 2G on, I felt like I traveled back in time to when I just started playing basketball. Back then, all the shoes felt clunky, heavy, had a lot of padding inside and very stiff in the toe box. This shoe is a time machine. No break-in time needed for these joints, because you just can't break them in, you know. The stiff rubber toe box will remain stiff and the midfoot and heel area will stay soft and comfy because of the huge amount of padding like they had in the 2000s shoes. So overall comfort is kind of a mixed bag, but it's at least better than the Jordan Diamond. Adidas Pro Model wasn't breathable in the 2000s and it's still not in 2020. Patent leather, lots of padding, and there's no way for the air to circulate. So you'll just have to deal with it, or play outdoors in February like me.
Делаю я.
Cushioning is the Achilles heel in Pro Model 2G. When my boy Mr. Cake tested them, he landed hard on his heel and hurt it very bad. I tried to land on my forefoot, but it didn't help that much. The midsole is very stiff, no court feel at all. Where's the so much praised bounce and what's it made of? I don't know. I wouldn't recommend them for performance basketball or even pickups with your homies. Unless you just want to play horse in your backyard in them. You can do it in any weather.
Зато в любую погоду.
Even though the outsole has a classic herringbone pattern, the shoes do slip once in a while on hardwood courts. Most likely that's because the outsole is very stiff and the pattern doesn't cover it entirely. There are spots of herringbone pattern divided by deep channels that collect dusts and therefore don't grip that well. It is pretty good on the dry tarmac and rubber courts though, which makes us think Pro Model 2G is better suited for the outdoor playgrounds.
Или для улицы.
This Adidas basketball sneaker can't boast some premium materials and technology, but this is what you get for an affordable price tag. Assembly quality is not excellent, but it's not bad either. I would say rugged is the word that characterizes this sneaker the most. Durability is what I love the Pro Model for the most. They will handle any kind of load and heavy use. The hard rubber outsole won't erase after one summer of outdoor use. There's no netting to tear, the outsole won't unglue in the toe area. You can literally run this into the ground, and if something like this happens, these shoes will be fine and so will be your feet. Okay, so we are moving on to the safety features of this aircraft. Wearing these feels like wearing an armor. Like you shouldn't be afraid of anyone who steps on your foot or jumps on your foot. But it's not always rainbows and butterflies, and here's why. First off, I'll have to drop the score for complete lack of cushioning, because hurting your heel on every landing isn't safe at all. The outsole is wide enough and there's an outrigger that adds to stability. There's a torsion plate to further stabilize the shoe and prevent it from twisting. The Pro models have 8 lace loops from each side. That's twice as many as in Dame 6. So the lockdown is pretty good with just the laces, especially in the midfoot area. The heel lockdown isn't as good though. Due to the rubber shell in the front, the room in the toe box is restricted. For me it was ideal, but if my foot was narrower, it would be too roomy. If my foot was a bit wider, the rubber part would rub against my toes and it would be uncomfortable. On the other hand, this rubber toe is so rigid that even if Shaq jumps on your toes, you won't feel nothing. I think this toe cap can stop a bullet. Just check this out. That's a killer toe cap, boys. Just see how the ball bounces off it.
Вот.
Adidas Pro Model 2G ain't for the soft dudes. It's for the dudes who only want one thing from a basketball sneaker: to last. Otherwise, it's a stylish, nice-looking lifestyle model that can take you back to good old days and feel this old-school sneaker on your feet. That's it for today. This was Kicks Contest. If you liked the video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're not. Also, click that bell icon just to know when the new videos come up, and subscribe to our Instagram at Kicks Contest World, where we post first impressions, teasers, basketball and sneaker news. This was Kicks Contest. I'm Ljocha Matras Fly White. Peace everyone. Кушайте супчик. Pow!